Hey guys, Thornton here, back with another video, and today we're going to do something a little bit different and something I've been wanting to start doing for a while. In my initial reviews, I really just cannot speak to the longevity, how products can hold up 3-6 months down the road. So now we're going to start doing that with products that I'm using on a somewhat regular basis or even daily, such as the headset we're reviewing today, or re-reviewing I should say, with the Blackshark V2 Pros. We're going to be doing a 6 months down the road. So I've been using these guys for a while now, and this is going to be really for you guys as consumers, who are purchasing these products to use for that long haul down the road, even a year down the road. So this will help give you guys a better idea of what to expect out of it, not just out of the box with like a week of using it. We're talking 6 months down the road now. So this will really show any flaws that might be present in it or anything that's going to go wrong down the road. So this will give you guys a good idea of what to expect out of it. So let's hop into it. In my initial review, I did cover comfort first, and I gave it an A+ then. And I have to say, still 6 months down the road, definitely sits in that same position. It doesn't feel really any different on the head coming out of the box versus 6 months down the road. Still a very comfortable wearing experience, and I will say, like, out of all my headsets, this is definitely top 2 or number 1 for comfort. Very loose clamping force on it. If that's gonna be something that bothers you, if I have it on my head and I start like leaning down, instantly wants to start sliding off. So that might be an issue for some of you guys. Most of the time when I'm gaming though, I'm gonna be sitting up just looking at my computer screen or sitting up looking at the TV when I'm playing console. So not a big issue, but if you're someone who finds yourself moving around a lot while wearing your headset or bending over, doing things, it does wanna kind of slide off just because of that very loose clamping force. So something to keep in mind if you are gonna pick these up. As far as the ear cushions themselves though, still really nice, that nice memory foam, plushy, but not too firm either, so nicely conforms to your head, and they do have that nice padding on top of the drivers as well, so if your ears are gonna be touching on those, still a nice, comfortable wearing experience. As far as the ear cups go, the one big downside with them is just the fact that you can't pull them off. A lot of headsets we see now, you can just tug right on them, they'll pop right off of those drivers, and you can swap new ones on there or different ones, so not only can you not take them off, they don't include any replacement ones in the box, so they are able to come off just a little bit more of a hassle, more of a process. You have to get like behind them, pop them out, and they're stretched over like a plastic plate. So if you're someone who knows your ear cups are gonna be getting really dirty down the road, or you're someone who likes to swap them out for those aftermarket ones, it's just gonna make it a little bit more difficult finding those, as well as doing the process of actually replacing them, just because they don't make it easy for you. So if they could have implemented something a little bit nicer on those ear cushions, it would be a lot nicer as far as comfort goes, because you could easily pop those off. So just a couple downsides there, but not big issues, just something I want to have you guys keep in mind if you're planning on purchasing them. Now, touching on the build quality and how that's held up, I know that's pretty, I see that in the comments a lot. There's a lot of people mentioning, are those metal wires really that strong? And they look like a really big weak point in the headset, and I can definitely understand that. And until you get it in your hands, it's kind of hard to understand what it feels like and how more, I would say, rigid feeling it is, though it does feel a little bit chintzy and kind of like cheap almost, just having these little metal wires holding onto these ear cups here. I will say I've had no issues with it. Obviously you guys can see it 6 months down the road. It still looks basically like it did out of the box, besides some of the wear and tear that just having on your head puts on it, but it's held up very nicely. I've had no worries about these things busting on me or breaking, and actually, despite the wires looking cheap, the only issues I've actually had with them, not build quality wise, but the thing that annoys me with it, once you kind of get it tightened up to where you want it on your head, you place it on there, after maybe an hour or even less of gaming, you'll find that these just kind of want to naturally slide down your head, and then you'll find yourself kind of reaching up, pulling them back up the wires to tighten it back down your head. A little bit annoying. Is that like a deal breaker? Obviously not. It's just an extra step that you have to do versus having one of those headsets where, it like clicks into each stage so it stays there firmly. That can be a bit annoying, but it's not a big deal. All you do is like this to snug it back up, but it does come and loosen down a little bit over time. So not a huge deal. Just something I want to point out again. Is something I noticed after using it for the extended period of time, which you might not pick up on in just the first week of actually having it on your head. As far as the controls go themselves though, nothing's been malfunctioning, all working well. And one of the biggest bonuses of this headset as far as the controls go is just having that 3.5mm jack included, which I feel like we just are seeing less and less with headsets. People are not including that. For me personally, as an Xbox user, being able to have that 3.5mm jack on there is a big deal for me, because a lot of these PC headsets don't work with the Xbox wirelessly. So having that 3.5mm jack there just allows me to be able to route it right into my controller, still be able to use it. So it might be a big bonus for some of you guys. It might not matter so much, but I like to bring it out because it's a really big bonus for me personally. Just quickly going over the connectivity and battery life again. Not gonna go into detail like I did in my initial review, but just how it's been working for me. Absolutely no issues as far as the connectivity front goes. Unless you're walking like 40 feet away and you have walls between you, then you're gonna get some issues. But as long as you're in the same room as the dongle that it's connected with, you're gonna have no issues with the audio. Definitely been very good for me. No breaking up, static. It's been lossless. No issues as far on that front goes. And for battery life as well too, I can use this thing for like 3-4 days, depends on how much I'm actually using it without charging it. But again, like I like to mention a lot, just go ahead and plug it in when you're done using it. You don't have to worry about it. And I just want to quickly cover that again. It is using a micro USB charging cable. For me personally, I don't care. I know some people make a big stink about that. They want USB-C so badly. So if that is you and you really want that USB-C charging port, this doesn't have it. It's using micro USB, but it's just a sinking cable. I mean, for me, it's no big issue. And the last point I really want to touch on here, going over with the headset again, re-reviewing it 6 months down the road, not quite the same as initial review, is the sound here. Still, I have to say, like, even after testing out a lot of different headsets now between initially getting this one and this re-review now, I still like this one the most. You get that extra frequency range here from the 12 to 28K versus the more standard 20 to 20. So you get more bass, you get more trebles there. And then of course, if you're someone that's adverse to software, not gonna be right for you. You really do need to hop into the software to get the most out of this. You can tune your driver specifically in there to get exactly the sound you want, as well as taking advantage of that THX spatial audio, which is definitely my favorite surround sound. This headset nails it down, I think, as far as surround sound goes for gaming headsets. I find myself using it way more than like having it not on, which with other gaming headsets, I don't even like to have it on in the first place. So for me personally, that does say a lot. Obviously take that as you would for yourself. But as far as surround sound goes in gaming headsets, I think this is absolutely the best that there is in the market right now. The THX spatial audio, I think it just sounds really cool. And then also the fact that you can have different game profiles for different things. Overall, the surround sound and just the sound as a base on this with the software combined with it, of course, where you can really get the most customization out of it is a big plus. So would I still recommend them 6 months on the road? Well, pretty obvious going through this review. I'm not just fanboying over Razer here or anything like that, so don't take it as that. I mean, I did purchase this with my own money, not being sent this, not being told what to say here. It's just a good product, and I'm gonna tell you about a good product if I feel like that's the case. And so far with the V2 Pros, Blackshark V2 Pros that is from Razer, it's held up great, and it's been a great headset since the moment I pulled out the box till 6 months down the road. So I would definitely still recommend them to you guys if you're wanting to pick them up. Obviously, take this as you will. This is my 6 months down the road. I don't know how you guys treat your headsets. I'm personally pretty careful with them as I don't want to ruin something that I spent a decent amount of money on. So for me personally, with taking good care of them, I don't see any reason why these would be breaking down even a year, a year and a half down the road. A very well built headset, not to mention like good comfort, good build quality, as well as great sound in my opinion. So a lot of good things going for this, and it's holding up well down the road. So a recommendation for me, and if you guys want to check out, I'll have a link in the description down below. Thank you guys very much for watching the video. If you found it helpful or informative, please hit that like button for me, and do consider subscribing. More content just like this coming in the very near future, but I'll see you guys in the next one.